Next point, which is important, is Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law gives the force acting between the two charges kept at a distance. Suppose this is the one of the charge we are talking about here. This is the point charge. Point charge mean which have no dimension but have charge. So this is just like a point. So they are the two charges Q1 and Q2 which are kept at a distance say R. Coulomb's law gives the force acting on these charges as that force is proportional to product of the charges and force acting between them is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. On combining, we say this is Q1 Q2 oblique R square, and equating it, it becomes K into Q1 Q2 oblique R square. This force on Q2 due to Q1 will be outward in case if Q1 and Q2 are both positive. If Q1, Q2 are both positive, meaning if Q1 is greater than 0, that means it is positive, and Q2 is greater than 0, it means also it is positive. Positive will repel. That means force will act away from each other. So force on Q2 is F here, there. Similarly, Q2 will apply a force on Q1 in outward direction. So this is F. And if we represent these forces in vector form and it is F, then it will be minus F. That means these forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. It is because of the Newton's third law, that is the action reaction law. So force acting between the charges is K Q1 Q2 by R square, where K is the proportionality constant and it is found that K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught and it is Q1 Q2 oblique R square. This is the Coulomb force or electric force acting between the two charges Q1 and Q2 which are kept at a distance R from each other. Here value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, we have to remember that it is 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square, and epsilon naught is a constant that is called permittivity of free space and its value is 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 and unit is opposite of or reverse of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is Coulomb square by Newton meter square. If there is a dielectric media, in that case force between the two charges, this is the Q1, this is the Q2. Practically we have taken here the medium between these two charges is vacuum or approximately air. But if we take a dielectric media in between them, dielectric is a type of the insulator. This space has a dielectric in between and this dielectric has a property constant that is the K. It is called dielectric constant. We can represent it with a small k, suppose. Dielectric constant. So in that case, we write it as force between the two charges when there is a dielectric media in between. It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught K into Q1 Q2 oblique R square. Or it can also be written as 1 F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Epsilon naught and K, we combinedly write it as simply epsilon. Q1 Q2 by R square. Here epsilon is permittivity of dielectric medium and K equal to epsilon R, that is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. It is called dielectric constant. Some points which are important. Number one, we have said that it is Q1, it is Q2, and force is acting along the line joining them. So one of the note is direction of force is along line joining the charges. Actual direction will depend the nature of the charges. If they both have positive positive, then the direction will be outward. If both are negative negative, again direction will be outward. But if one of the charge is positive and another charge is negative, still they will act on the line joining the charges. Say it is plus Q1, it is minus Q2, but now force will act inward. Next is force is a vector quantity. So we can apply superposition principle. That is, if we have to find the force on at a particular charge due to the number of the charges, then we have to find individual charge and then add vectorly. That will give the resultant force on that charge. Third, electrical force are very, very larger than the gravitational force. Gravitational force are very weak in comparison to electrical forces. Gravitational forces are due to the masses and electrical forces are due to the charges. Masses are of one type while the charges are of two types. Due to the one type of charges, there is only one type of the force, that is the only attraction force. While because of the two type of the charges, electrical force are two types, attraction force or the repulsion force. An order of electrical force and gravitational force is approximately, we can write 10 to the power 35 to 39 approximately. Another point is, we take an example of hydrogen atom. Atom has a nucleus and the orbits. This nucleus in hydrogen, because hydrogen is the simplest atom, it has one proton in nucleus and one electron in its orbit, in which it is revolving. And there is an attraction force on the electron due to the nucleus. This attraction force is the electrical force in nature. And this electrical force causes the circular motion of the electron in orbit and provide the required centripetal force. And electron is moving in this direction tangentially, where velocity we can give v and radius is r. Then for circular motion, electrical force will act as a centripetal force mv square by r. And electrical force between electron and proton is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught E into E by R square. That is equal to mv square by r. This is electrical force and this is centripetal force. This is one of the equation. Similarly, in hydrogen atom, electron revolves in certain particular orbits. And for that orbits in which electron can be able to revolve, that are obeying the condition that their angular momentum we have already discussed in rotation, angular momentum of electron in nth orbit equal to mvn/rn. This is the formula of angular momentum, and it is equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. This condition will be discussed in detail in the chapter of atoms, but here for reference we are giving, this is the equation number 2, and h is the Planck's constant. Planck's constant has the dimensions of angular momentum. It has dimensions of angular momentum. It is very common asked question in examination. Write the dimension of Planck constant. So dimensions of Planck constant will be ml to t minus 1. Angular momentum is m for mass, this v for velocity, lt minus 1, and this r is distance, that is l. So we can write it is ml to t minus 1.